on the next community challenge. So usually those numbers go up quite a bit over the weekend. So you'll probably see that go up this next weekend with the update and everything. My guess is you guys will hit it here pretty soon, and you'll have yourselves the hybrid of the Orosaur and the Tephilophagus. So excited about that. Hala wanted me to share this. This is her favorite pose that we've got of the hammer hug. Again, the red is not an actual final color. This pose just happens to be in the middle of an animation that somebody screenshot and sent, and she thought it looked like he was on his tippy toes. So kind of fun. This is a cowfish because obviously that makes sense in Cow Valley that there'd be cowfish. So there's lots of different fish as you saw on the Fishadex. This is just a close-up of that fish button. I'm not sure I'm going to tell you what this is, but I'll let you guys guess. This should be a very fun little encounter coming soon. Here's Kyle teasing some stickers. We got some stickers finally. It's funny how long it's taken us to get these kinds of things. Oh no. So he's just showing off some stickers we're going to be taking to VidCon with us and probably sending out to a lot of you as well as like rewards and stuff. So we're just excited to put them on our headsets and everything. And then, oh, where'd it go? This was a screenshot of something I was mocking up during a meeting. So I'll let you guys theorize about what this means. I'm sure you YouTubers, at least one YouTuber like almost always gets theories right. It's kind of fun to watch your guys' videos. You'll get like, even the ones that get it right don't get everything right, but you'll get like 60% right sometimes. I'm like, dang, dude, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's ever gotten all of it right, but yeah, take a gander at this little image and see if you can figure it out. And that's it. Fishing update coming tomorrow. Yeah, love sharing this stuff with you guys. Hopefully you enjoy it. I excited to go over some questions, and then I'm happy to do like more of a deep dive into the actual fishing system. So, with that said, I think unless Hala or Tara, there's anything else, we can get cranking with questions today.
All right. I have a lot of good quality questions here about fishing, so it'll be very enlightening to anyone who has curiosity about how it works. First question is from Tiro. When you fish, is it possible to get any gold or bones from it?
So, I'm gonna say no, at least for now. No gold, definitely bones. You can fish basically right next to the tar pit. You won't be able to fish for all the different fish, but you could hypothetically fish. You can fish in any body of water, or sand, or lava, or milk, or mud, obviously. Basically anything wet you can any liquid you can fish in. And fish can either be just directly fed to your dinosaur, or put in the tar pit. So technically you can get bones. It should be like the meta for like raising up your dinosaur at this point. Like we want it to be like really rewarding. It's so fun. Like the mechanic of it is really fun to just sit on your dinosaur. Like literally I spent a long time last night just sitting on my dinosaur, casting out, trying to get it into different waters, sitting there waiting for just a second and then reeling in, and then just like holding the fish in front of my dinosaur and just doing that over and over again. Really fun, really like chill. I think it's going to be how everyone gains XP for their dinos. Obviously, it would be a good way to get fish, but you're not going to be able to get as rare a fish from right around the watering hole. You kind of have to venture out a little bit into the different things to get different fish. I'm sure there's questions about that, so I'll leave it at that for now, and then I'll probably circle back to a bunch of other stuff.
Second question from Alex. Will there be a possible chance for us to be able to catch swimming dinos while we're fishing?
Yes. We've been talking about that. That's likely the way that you're going to get swimming alphas. We're not totally sure of the specifics of it yet. The hope is that you'll know when you've locked onto an alpha, like visually you'll know, it'll kind of like be obvious on your fishing rod itself. It will be really hard to bring in, But if you bring it in, you'll have kind of like an encounter at the shoreline, basically next to where you're fishing, more or less. So we're trying to see if we can make it so that it's actually in the water and you have to kind of encounter it or fight it at the shoreline, not like underwater, but that will be how you get your swimming alphas is through that. So you won't just like bring up an egg, you'll like accidentally snag an alpha, and then if you're able to bring it in, then you can fight it. Probably if you snag it, if you're able to bring it in and kill it, you'll get the egg guaranteed. So it's not, there's no drop chance. It's just, it's rare to snag it. That's the main like rarity. But then it requires you actually reeling it in, and then killing it will be similar to what it is. Like you will be able to kill it over time once it's emerged, but it might snap off your rod if you don't reel it in properly. So there's a technique to that. And again, we'll probably get into that a little bit later.
Cool. Next question. Will the fish have rarity? And is that why we need different fishing rods?
Yes, they will have rarity. I'll go ahead and pull the Fisher-Dex back up and try and go through as much as I can from memory. Might not be great because it's been changing a bunch. So the different fishing rods, what they do is they make it so that you can bring in a fish faster and that your line has less chance of breaking. So not less chance because it's not random, it is skill based, but essentially you'll see there's like a meter that appears on your rod once you've caught a fish. And really all you have to do is either not reel or reel faster. And the higher up the meter fills, or there's like a fish that goes up and down the meter. So the higher up the meter goes, the less you need to reel. So you just basically, if it's going to the top, you just stop reeling and then it'll kind of like ease up. If it starts to go down, you need to reel faster and then try to keep that little icon in the middle of the bar. That bar is just longer essentially on the bigger rods. So it has like, because once it's up at the top for a certain amount of time, that's what breaks the line. So the line breaking is, there's a little bit of like rarity infused into it, but the bigger the fish is, the harder it is to land. The rarer the fish is, the harder it is to land. So they have different swim patterns. You don't need to worry about any of this. All you need to worry about is how fast you reel and how slow you reel. That's all you need to worry about. But at least what the programming has in it is each fish has a different pattern, and you'll probably be like, oh, you'll know that it's like a cowfish. So for example, the chicken fish is the most common, and you can find it almost in every body of liquid. But the anglerfish is the most rare. I think it's a 0.6% chance that you'll hook into an adult anglerfish, whereas the baby anglerfish is like 12% chance. So each one of these has different rarities. Each one of these have different XP or bone values that they'll give you. The bigger it is, the more XP it gives you relative like to the type. So the chicken fish won't give you a ton even if it's huge. But the anglerfish, I think, will give you up to like 2,500 nugs if you get the biggest one. I could pull up the chart. I've got it here somewhere. So maybe I'll pull that up just so I stop trying to make up numbers. But yeah, we'll get back into that, I'm sure. So hopefully that answers a lot of questions.
Verosica was wondering, how will the mosasaur work on land? Like, how will you pull it out of your dino stash and get it to the water map?
Yeah. Great question. I did sort of cover that, I guess. But I will go into it a little bit more in depth. So if you get a Mosasaurus egg, you'll still hatch it the same way. You'll still take it around, bash it on chickens, or take it to Pig Valley, or whatever it is you end up doing. And then you'll hatch it at the nest. It will work on land. It will just either not follow you at all, or it'll follow really slow, because it'll basically like kind of move like a seal on land. And so you'll probably want to carry it most everywhere, either with a Jasper pouchy on your arm, or just like hold it in your hand if you're on land. You can ride it on land as well. It just won't actually like ever get off the ground. So right now, if you're like moving around, a lot of times you can like kind of launch yourself and basically jump with dinosaurs, especially like a Xenodon or a Raptor. Like those dinos are like flying around the map, almost like they're flying. They don't actually fly, but they're just, bouncing. So the Mosasaurus is like, it's not going to go any further than its arm can reach. So it's like one step at a time. And so it'll be painful to get anywhere. It won't be impossible, but you do not want to take it like from like the trading table to Pig Valley. You won't like that, but you can, if you need to move it just a little bit, you can. But it'll still move. It'll still follow you. Most likely it just will be really slow. So you'll want to take it close to water, throw it in the water, and then, yeah. If you're actually going to the water map, you probably don't need anything. You can just use your UGG, kind of hold it in your hand, use your UGG to get close to the water, throw it in the water, hop on it, and you're good to go. If you're going further than the watering hole and want to swim with it somewhere, we are going to open up some water like down the road in the flying map that you'll want to like jump down into. In that one, you'll probably want to at least start with a flying dinosaur, get to where you're going to hop in the water, then throw it down and swim. So hopefully that answers that question. I know I kind of answered it 2 different ways. But yeah, should work. We'll see. We'll see how bad it feels, but I think it should be a pretty fun and unique way to utilize dinosaurs in the game.
One of our moderators, Walrux, was wondering, will there continually be more fish added even after the initial release of fishing?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely seems like an easy thing to start adding as maps return. Like next week, for example, we have the crystal map coming back. Like a week from tomorrow, the crystal map will be replacing the flying map, and the crystal fish is only available in the crystal caves. So crystal fish will not be available tomorrow. It will be available a week from tomorrow. We were going to have the pigfish not be available until until Pig Valley came back, but we realized that there is a mud pit in Cow Canyon, so you can technically get a pigfish tomorrow. But the boneyard also won't be open, so I won't tell you what fish are going to be in there quite yet, but it should be fun. I mean, I'll tell you, it's baby sandworms. Like you can, yeah. So we're gonna have little baby sandworm fish that you can catch in there, and maybe some other stuff too. But when the boneyard comes back, you'll be able to fish in the sand. That'll be new. And then I love the idea of fish in the game. If you guys really enjoy it, we'll definitely be adding more fish, more rods that are better at catching fish or do different things. We have lots of ideas to expand that. Kind of depends on what you guys say, but we'll certainly be adding. We already have plans to add at least 4 fish, and I'm sure more ideas will come as time goes on.
I have like a 2-in-1 question here from Microwave Mac and Alfie. Can you hang up fish in your hut? / will there be an aquarium in the hut for caught fish? So I think they're wondering about like, where can you put these fish?
Yeah, for now, the only place really will be in your Dino Decks to flex. So what you'll see in your Dino Decks is similar to how you can currently see your highest dino level. So if you have 2 like mother raptos right now, and you have one at level 15 and one at level 27. When you look at the mother rapto, you see 27, power 27, or like level 27. What you'll see when you look at the fish is the biggest fish of that type you've caught. So if you have like a Cristo perch fish, then next to the Cristo perch on your Dino Decks, you'll see the heaviest one. That's kind of how you'll flex. You'll be like, hey, I caught a bigger one than you or whatever. Like I caught, which one was it? It was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, the spiky shad. I caught a spiky shad that was 104. We're not saying if they're pounds, like, because Uggs don't really use that. So Ugg fish units, whatever it is. So I caught 104 size Cristo perch, which is like, I'm pretty sure that's like less than 1 in 10,000. I was asking our developers what the chances of that would be. So I'm definitely going to be bragging about that for a long time. But I also caught a perch that was like 1.2. So it'll say your biggest and your smallest on the left side of the Dino Decks. and it will say how many you've caught as well. So so those will be the ways you'll be able to show off. It'll all be through the Dynodex. Nothing in your hut yet. I'd love that. We talked about it. It's just performance wise, this was the best solution.
Makes sense. Teardrop was wondering, will the fish be dead when you catch them, or will they flop around like IRL fishing?
Yes, they will be alive. I actually have a video. So I love to fish. I mean, I don't know if there's anything more unk than admitting how much I like to fish. I did a lot growing up. Fish a lot with my son, and I go on like 3-day fishing trips where I just go and catch tuna off the coast of California. It's super fun. Go with some friends of mine. But so I had like a lot to say about fishing, and it's not like the game play is going to be super duper accurate, but there's just certain things that when I go fishing, I'm like, this is what it looks like. And so this like flopping is how they come out. Oh, hopefully that's playing back for you. Kind of is a little pausey for me. But yeah, so this is kind of the animation that all the fish are going to have. And so it'll be flopping there, and you can either just like straight from your rod, just hang it over your dinosaur and then feed it directly to it. I think you can dip it directly into the tar pit, but you can also just grab it and it will continue to kind of flop around in your hand. And then you can throw it at your dinosaur. You can throw it in the tar pit. I was feeding like other alpha testers yesterday. So anyways, yeah, they're alive, which is why they're way more valuable than the dead fish that you kill underwater. So the values for these are much, much higher. So for example, the chicken is between 400 and 540 XP for each one you catch. The most intense one is the angler, which is 1,500 to 2,250. And that's XP or bones. So, yeah.
What happens if you drop it like back in the water? Will it go back in? Like, didn't come to that yet.
So I mean, we have two different types of water. We have the water you can actually go in, which is only at the watering hole. Most of the water is like actually just you're on the top of it. So if you throw it on the water, like around the watering hole, it'll just flop around on the top of the water, which I guess makes no sense. I'm not sure how else to do that. We don't want it to disappear necessarily, but I think if you threw it in the actual water at the watering, in the water map, I think it would just kind of float as like any other type of loot. I actually haven't done that, so I'm not positive. We might be something worth testing, but
Virtual Bastion
talking, but I can't hear you.
You're right. It is just the same as other loot right now.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, cool. Virtual Bastion was wondering, can you fish in the tar pit?
No, not yet. That may be something we add later on, but it might be a little tricky. I think we were asked about it and we're like, well, if you catch it, it would actually instantly redeem it for bones, so you wouldn't have a chance to see it, or you guys have done that before, where you're like doing something and your dinosaur automatically eats something because it was too close when the thing despawned, right? So it would be kind of a similar thing where you would technically not ever be able to see it, so we'd have to program something around that, and we just felt like it would be like not a great experience. So anyways, not for now, but who knows, maybe later. Good question, Virtual.
All right. How much will the fishing rods cost, and do they break over time?
So the fishing rods work just like weapons, basically. Once you've unlocked them, they're only bones every time after that. They don't break technically. You can put them in your perma pouchy if you've got it. You can share them, so you don't ever have to buy one. I want to say, Paula, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I know we just set these values. I think it's 1,000 nugs for the first one. And then where did we end up on the other two? Was it 1,500 and 2,000, or was it 1,200 and 1,500? I can't remember, guys, and that's a big difference.
I think it was 1,500 and 2,000, but I'm double checking right now.
Okay. Yeah. And again, the only difference, you can catch all of the same fish with any of the 3 rods. And if somebody gives you the top rod, you can just keep it in your perma pouchy and always have it. So yeah, I mean the plan is like my guess is at least for a while, some of you will be fishing more than you like do anything in the game. It's so fun to just go around, catch a different fish, try and catch bigger fish than your others. I think the biggest size of any fish you can catch is 110. So we have like a decimal point. So it'd be 110.0 is the absolute highest. And I think it's 1 in 10 million that you'd be able to get that high. So I don't think anyone's going to get that. If you do get 110, like let us know on Discord for sure, because that's statistically seems like that will never happen. I think it's actually 1 in 100 million. So 104 is pretty high too. Like that's kind of insane. But yeah.
Is there going to be instructions on how to use the fishing rods by them? Like those infographic things? Nope.
No. No. Maybe there should have been. It's really simple. Like we didn't want to overcomplicate it. You buy it just like you buy anything, and all you do is this, and it will cast. And then as soon as you hook onto something, you reel. It will probably take you 3 fish before you're like, oh, okay, I totally get it now. And you'll probably lose a couple fish for the first like 5 or 10 times that you do it, but you're hooking into a fish pretty quick. Oh, I think I said, maybe I didn't say this. You do hook into fish faster because you do have the fishing rod comes with a different bobber. We don't have lures, but we have hooks and bobbers that are different. Hopefully someday, if you guys like this enough, if it makes sense, then we'll kind of go with like you can buy better lures, better hooks, better bobbers, better poles, better line or something. I don't know. We'll see how complex it gets. For now, you literally you go like this, and then as soon as you hook onto a fish, you start reeling. That's really it. It's not nearly as complex as you've seen in other free to play games. Probably, I would say it's simpler than those. The only difference here is that because we have the Fishadex, and like it gives you bones and XP, there is a little bit more. We feel like there's more reasons to fish, and so the mechanics of the fishing didn't need to be as complex. But we'll see. Like, love to hear what you guys think of it. We leaned on the simpler side. Long term, we can make this more intense. I thought it'd be fun to have like harpoons that you like actually shoot bigger fish with from the back of your dinosaur and have to like basically fish by running away from your dinosaur. So there's lots of things we can do with it, and this is definitely expected to be only the first version of fishing. We already have another fishing rod that we're working on, that we plan to release in not too distant future. But yeah, love to see what you guys think. So far, everyone's been excited about how chill it is.
I just confirmed the cost for fishing rods is 1,000 for bamboo, 1,200 for the bone, and then 1,500 for the octopus rod, and that is the same cost for both nugs and bones. So the first time nugs, second time bones, and so.
I mean, you'll literally be able to cover the cost of the bones for the fishing rod by catching 3 fish, which I think you hook onto a fish with the lowest rod. It only takes it's like 15 seconds or less. It is kind of random. 15 seconds or less, 10 seconds or less, and then like 5 seconds or less. So you're gonna be able to get these fish pretty quick to pay for the bones.
Gatorzilla was asking, will it be a realistic fishing experience? Like, would you have to set the hook?
No hook setting. I go on like 3-day fishing trips once a year and come back with like hundreds of pounds of bluefin tuna. Like I love fishing, and I want it to be I would love for it to be as accurate as possible. And some of my favorite games of all time are fishing games. And so, but UGG is not a fishing game. It is a dino raising game and a dino riding game at its heart. And we didn't want to detract too much from that to make it a game that it's not. So somehow this still feels very UGG. It feels like what a caveman would do. if a caveman could somehow tame dinosaurs and create a fishing rod and learn to fish with no legs. This is how it feels. It feels right. I hope it's right.
And when you say you fish for bluefin tuna, aren't those like giants? Like, how do you catch that with just a normal rod? This is just a me question. This isn't something really else.
Yeah, the biggest one I've caught was like 60 pounds, which is big. It's very big, and you have like different pound tests. So I have like 200-pound test, but I haven't caught one that's like 300 pounds before. We've found them as we've been out there, just never hooked into them. But yeah, I've come back with like 10 fish that I've caught that are like 30 to 50 pounds. So it's more fish than I could ever eat. We'll have a big UGG sushi party if we catch a whole bunch this time again.
That's hilarious. I used to live up north and we have a halibut when we go ocean fishing. They can also get very, very big. But
Yeah.
this is also unrelated to anything, but Dill Rocks VR was asking, why are the Q&As always so late for the UK?
That is a very good and fair question. There's a couple parts of that. This time does tend to work out better for our team sometimes. Also with school and everything, we've been asked with like times from East Coast to Pacific Coast in the Americas. This is kind of the best window with kids being off of school. School's out now. Also, we should have times that are way better for everybody that plays in Europe, because there are a lot of you, I know. And so the next one is going to be early. I'm not sure exactly when it is. It's 1 or 2 weeks out, and it'll be a weekday, and it'll be like, I think it was like scheduled it for 10 or 12 hours earlier than this, so that it's like prime time for you guys, maybe early for the American listeners, but we recognize you're there. We did have a couple early on, and I'm sorry that the last few have been quite late. So apologies for that. We do see that a lot of people, or not a lot of people, there are people that record these often and post them. So hopefully some of you get a chance to watch it as content creators post the full recording, which we appreciate, because we don't do it on our end. Probably should, but you guys are doing a great job of that and spreading the word really well. So sorry to those of you in Europe. Next time should be good.
Awesome. Dallas was asking, will there be a water-themed bundle when the Mosasaurus boss comes out?
Let me check.
There will be, but it won't have
yes.
the Mosasaurus in it. It will have the Chronosaurus in it. I can pull up our Chronosaurus concept art.
Yeah, please do. That'd be awesome. Bring up the because I think it should be in the same place. Bring up the Mosasaurus concept art as well, so you can kind of see how the progress is. I think we've shared the Mosasaurus one, but we've never shared the Chronosaurus one. Yeah, so the bundle, it'll be June 11th. The bundle will be the Chronosaurus bundle. There's the Mosasaurus concept art, and you saw earlier on the T-pose red, green, and blue version of this guy. So he's still coming along, still got some work to do. And then this is the Chronosaurus. So the Chronosaurus, I believe, and we'll have to see how it ends up feeling with the Mosasaurus first, but I believe the Chronosaurus will be very similar to what I described as far as its mobility and its tankiness. So it won't be a Titan, obviously, but it will be kind of like an in-between. So not nearly as tanky and not nearly as slow, but you really mostly don't want to use the Chronosaurus out of the water. That's what we're currently thinking. We might pivot that and say that the swimming Titans are the only ones that work like that, and we'll give the Chronosaurus legs just like we gave the Hammerhug legs. It kind of just depends on where we land with balancing it and everything. So if you end up seeing the Chronosaurus with legs and you get mad at me for changing our minds, just know that we did it because we were thinking of you guys and don't want you to be upset. But the Chronosaurus is a pretty cool looking dinosaur. There's a lot of really cool looking dinosaurs that help inspire what dinosaurs are coming up. So for those of you that don't know, the Mosasaurus is based on the Mosasaurus, which is, if you've seen Jurassic World, it's like the ginormous one that eats the great white shark at the big exhibit that looks like SeaWorld or whatever. The more teeth one. So, yeah, the Mosasaurus is based off of a real dinosaur. The Kronosaurus is also based off of a real water dinosaur. But yeah, there's some really, really cool water dinosaurs. There's some insane dinosaurs. We always pull them up, and it's just like really fun. So love working on UGG because of the real world dinosaurs that we get to pull from as inspiration. Then we make like a Xenodon, which obviously has nothing to do with it, but you can see I'm a huge Alien fan. I think I got a couple Xenomorphs is what these are called from the movie Alien. And then this is a Predator from the movie Predator.
You
Or
guys
a
should add one
Yapjaw.
that's like a Brontosaurus, but it has fins. I don't know what they're called.
Oh yeah, that's on our roadmap, or at least on like our ideas board. But what is that one called? The names are so hard to say. Okay, by the way, oh my gosh, I shouldn't share the image of the Rhizosaurus, but there is a dinosaur called, I don't even know how to say it. I look it up. I'm not like an archaeologist or whatever looks up dinosaurs, paleontologist. But I love dinosaurs. Obviously, like Jurassic Park. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But I mean, I know that those aren't super accurate. They're the dinosaur that has the super big claws. We wanted to release that because we're having like an UGG hand update. So we're gonna add a lot more like high fives and fist bumps. Also, like really expand our cosmetics of the hands themselves, so that hands will look different. So I was like, oh, we need to do that dinosaur that has the super long claws. And I was like talking to Hala about it for a long time, and I just couldn't say it's spelled like Therizaurus or something like that. The Rhizosaurus, and then we were just like, oh, we're just gonna do the Rhizosaurus as the dinosaur. So, anyways, that's coming. The one with the big hands, big claws. It'll have a good attack. I don't even know how we got on this topic. Oh, it's just a cool dinosaur with like cool features that we get to pull from, but we have to Uggify it, obviously, so it fits in our world, give it a different name, what the Uggs would call it. And yeah, that's how we do our inspiration. So that one's coming most likely in July. So
Awesome. I think it's the plesiosaur I was thinking of. Anyways, Ocean was asking, will the fishing stay forever, or is it going to get moved out?
it might get nerfed a little bit because we get a check. We follow how many bones everybody has in their accounts at all times and how quickly you're raising your dinos and everything. It might be OP, to be honest. So we might nerf how much it gives you down the road, but it'll be a while. But it'll never go away. It'll for sure never go away. It's always kind of been what we thought to be a really like alternative and fun way to hunt. More likely than not, it will just expand. And then we wouldn't change how many you get, but maybe just how much it gives. But how much it gives, that would be months down the road, because essentially we just want to make sure that you guys are getting enough bones to be able to do everything you want to do in the game, but also not so many bones that you're like, oh, I don't need to get bones anymore. So, and we know some of you, like the way you play the game, you have more bones than you'll ever be able to spend in a million years. So power to you. That's great. There may be like a bone wipe at some point, like a resetting of bones, not nugs, but bones. So that for those of you who have had a bajillion bones for so long, or got like the golden cowbell or something, like you'll have to grind for bones again. Anyways, that's a long way of saying fishing's going to stay. I need to answer these questions faster so we can get through more of them. Fishing's going to stay.
Awesome. Are there going to be color variants within each type of fish?
No, not ones that we track. We might end up adding, like, it will just randomly appear differently. So we might, when we like bring back Pig Valley, like the pigs themselves have a random color that's applied to them, so they're not all the exact same pink. I've been thinking we might do the same thing with our fish, especially like the crystal fish. Maybe it's just got a different combination of crystals that are on the crystal fish. for example. But we probably won't be tracking those variants. It'll just be a visual thing. So you'll bring it up and you'll be like, oh, this one's a little more blue or this one's a little more red. But yeah, just to keep the Fishadex simple. We don't want the Fishadex to compete with the Dynadex. It doesn't add to your Dino power. We're not going to add to it the same way that we add to the Dynodex. So yeah, there won't be variants.
All right. And I can't remember if this was asked already, but will you get more bones for rarer fish? Like if you sell an angler fish, do you get different than if you
Yeah.
sell chicken fish?
Yep, I'll bring it up. So for example, the most common fish is the chicken fish. It'll give you between 400 and 540 bones or XP. And then the most rare is the anglerfish. It will give you between 1,500 and 22,250 bones. So about 4.5 times more than the chicken fish will give you.
And what are the odds of a really small fish? Because I think you said the odds of getting a really big fish.
Yeah, we actually kept getting a really small fish odds incredibly low as well. So, and they're really fun. They're like, you can get a fish that's like that big. So basically you can get a fish between that big and like probably taller than a nug. Most likely you'll be getting fishes that are like in this range. So the biggest fish you can get is the adult anglerfish at the maximum size, which would be 110. So a 110 anglerfish would be the largest fish you can get. The smallest fish you can get. So I think it's a 10% chance to get the like really big version or the really small version. Each of them is 10%. So pretty rare. There's just an extra rare if you go above 100, which is super unlikely. But you can't go below 0.1.
Okay. Question about the hammerhug. Is he going to be fast or slow on land?
He's going to be a little bit slower than the Spinosuchus on land, but faster in the water by not like a noticeable amount. So probably not super noticeable on land. That'll be slower, but very noticeable, at least to me, underwater that he's faster. So should be fun. I like swimming around with him. I'm deciding whether he's my main.
I have a question about, well, I keep seeing this in chat about performance, like you guys swapping out different parts of the map. I think it's because of performance, but they're saying, why can't you do like what Animal Company does, where you basically just go through and it's just a different portal that loads that part of the map when you go, so that you can have all the parts of the map at the same time.
Yeah, that's kind of how Yeeps does it. Animal Company, theirs is a little bit different because Yeeps you're actually changing servers. Animal Company not changing servers. Part of the reason we did that is we did want the entire lobby to have kind of a shared experience, and we also wanted people to be able to go to the different encounters, and like the statistics are showing that people are playing the way that we were hoping they would, which is like not always. I know that like, and you don't have to, but the idea is, oh, everyone heard the Flaptor, let's go kill the Flaptor. Oh, everyone heard Betsy, let's go take care of Betsy. The octopus just spawned, let's go take care of that. Because there's these like event driven experiences, those all have to be networked so that everyone knows, not necessarily like exactly where the Flaptor is. We don't load that stuff until you get into the canyon. But how far into the sequence you are. So have you hatched the egg yet? Have you gotten through 17% of the bar? Is the Flaptor even active? All of these things have to be tracked for everybody in the map at all times. And so that's the stuff that becomes really heavy performance wise, so that it's not necessarily like there's so much geometry loaded. We actually do unload and load the geometry for virtually everything. and that's why the caves are designed like, and sometimes you'll come out a way that we didn't design or intend, especially with flying. We kind of broke a little bit of that. So you'll come out one way of flying and the water map won't load for a while, even though you're looking at like a giant hole. That's essentially the same thing. It's just those engagements needing to track over time. We're looking for ways to optimize that, but it seems like it's probably like at first it was a performance thing and it continues to be like the main reason, but we've been like, oh man, how can we make performance better so we can open more maps? And ultimately we've kind of felt like this rotation is actually good because we're going to go through a lot faster. So the flying map is going to be gone in 1 week and it just got here last week. So it's only going to be here for 2 weeks and we're going to start doing that a lot faster. So hopefully that works. If that doesn't work, we'll try and open another map. The reason we were able to open up the PvP map is because that didn't track anything. There was no progression in there. There weren't even alphas or anything at all. You literally just, you went in, you could play a game. If you went out, then that entire pyramid area unloaded. And so that doesn't hit performance because it acts more like Animal Company does. So super long answer for a good question though.
Oh my gosh. Here's another one. Like I'm asking this because I'm literally asking for myself too. Why is the Flaptor so aggressive? You can't fly for a minute without being thrown 500 feet across Octopia. And me and Yum Yum struggled to film a scene the other day. We're just trying and like we couldn't film it for like 15 minutes. We tried because I was like, you know what? I just give up on this because it just kept throwing us.
Yeah. So the Flaptor was built back like basically during Christmas break. So we had flying pretty much ready to rock before Christmas. And then we were working on the Flaptor encounter during Christmas and Christmas break. And it was a huge, huge task. Like it seems maybe like it's easy, but pretty much it was like, especially back then, we only had really one dev working on that all by himself. So did a fantastic job. Then we did the ball rug and we're like, okay, let's change it up, fix a few things and make it better, like a better version of the Flaptor, kind of like the things that we weren't able to get to in the Flaptor or the things we had learned from making the Flaptor encounter we wanted to improve. So the system and the experience was even better. Then when we brought back the Flaptor, we're like, oh, using these updated systems, it is kind of harder than it was a little bit. We kind of didn't flag it as like something we needed to fix because we're like, well, they've, this isn't the first time they've gone through it. But maybe it's something we nerf for the next time we bring it back. Cause I agree. It's pretty hard. It feels harder than it was before. Maybe that's just a skill issue for me, but, I think the consensus is that the Flaptor encounter's kind of difficult. Now, the idea is that the Flaptor encounter is meant to be something you take on with your friends. That's always been the intent. With the ball rug, we wanted to make it not quite as intense that way, but still the idea is that if you don't have 4 people, it's pretty hard to do the Flaptor or even really the ball rug. So, I mean, same with like the Crystodon and Cryodon. I don't think we're going to make it so that you can solo that really ever. I think you're always going to kind of need your homies on your back or stopping and shooting with you. Dino weapons might change that, but you'd have to have like 4 cannons going simultaneously and still be pretty good probably to solo the Crystodon or Cryodon. So anyways, good question. I agree.
Is the golden egg going to be a fish that you catch, like a golden fish? / will there be a fish that's
We will
golden?
never tell you, Tara.
So the way you
Asking
get the
for a
golden
friend.
egg is, yeah. It's I love all the people. This is probably going to happen way worse because I bring it up. I love all the people that just say something and we just absolutely know it's completely wrong and they're just saying stuff to spam the Discord or whatever. There's like, oh yeah, the golden egg, I found it. It's underneath this rock behind Cow Canyon and blah blah blah. And we're just like, you friggin' liar. But yeah, not going to tell you at all. So sorry. Okay, I am going to say this. Only because it's kind of funny. I don't know if you guys realize this, but the way to get the disc golf golden egg was not to spam the goals. The way to do it was a very specific sequence. It was like 5, 1, 3, 4, 1 or something like that. There was a sequence that you were supposed to get them in. we just tested it a million times and we're like, okay, yeah, 51341. And then I think we posted like in general chat a couple times that sequence. I don't know if it was that, but there was sticks on top of the disc golf goals that had 5 sticks, 4 sticks, 3 sticks, 1 stick, 5 sticks, whatever. So yeah, all you had to do, you could do it by yourself. Just go in that sequence and make a goal in each one of those goals in that sequence, and you got it. The reason you all thought it was spamming it is because that was the first person to get it, did it by everybody spamming it at the same time. And so I don't think anyone ever made a video about the real way to do it. Maybe I'm wrong. I saw 30 videos about how to get the golden egg, and every single one of them said, "Oh, go into a lobby and spam them with your friends." So I have a feeling that might happen this time too. That you will find a way to get the golden egg. It won't be the way to get the golden egg. But whoever makes the video first, probably that's what everyone will do, and word will spread, and then nobody will figure out the real way. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that. That's as good of a hint as I'm gonna give you. It's not a hint at all, really, but good luck. It won't be that hard this week.
Awesome. And for the Q&A, usually we do a Discord code so that you guys can get a
Oh
download.
yeah,
So I'll put that in chat.
let's do it. We're already at time. Oh my gosh, that time flew.
I
That's
know.
insane. Did we get through all the questions? You guys have any other questions?
We
I feel like we
got through
just
all the
started.
questions.
Oh my gosh. All right. That's what I mean, I do have to go, but I feel like we just started.
I
All right,
did
Craig.
see a bunch of people. Oh yeah, cry, cry, love, love for the Discord code, guys. But I want to say there's a bunch of people asking when plushies are going to come out. And I'm just saying that information is out there. If you look at Yum Yum's announcements, there's some information in there.
We're supposed to get the first Carnatugus plushies. Oh man, can I share that image? Can you bring up that image that of all the stuff?
Yeah.
I feel like we should share that. I mean, I don't know if we're allowed to or not. So I've said this a couple times, and I'll say it again just because we have a lot of people here, and I don't know if you've heard it. We don't manufacture anything. We don't know how to make shirts. We don't know how to make plushies. So we're working with guys that's like their bread and butter, and we're working with guys who have done other VR titles very successfully. They have really high quality stuff, and we defer to them. So there's shipping delays. There's production delays. We don't know what we're doing. We're wanting to make it as accurate as possible. So there's a lot of back and forth. We were going to do the Carnatugus like 2 months ago. It got delayed, but we're supposed to get our first versions of the Carnatuguses on Friday. We'll probably give them away at VidCon if you're there. You'll like literally have the only ones, and there's going to be changes that'll be made to them. But the idea with the Carnatugus is we're going to have variants of them that you'll get. You don't know what you're going to get when you buy it. And if you get a golden Carnatugus, you'll get like 100,000 bones or something insane. There won't actually be a golden Carnatugus in the game, but all the other variants will actually be in the game. And I guess maybe there will be a golden Carnatugus. I'm not 100% sure, but oh yeah, Scaly. Yeah, show that. Also, I want to show the like the image of all the stuff that's coming out with the Spinosuchus and all that you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the one that I was showing earlier.
Yeah. I love that
Yeah.
one. But
So here's the Scaly Carnatugus. And then here's the golden Carnatugus. So the idea with the Carnatugus, you will buy a Carnatugus plush and you won't know which one you're getting. So the gold one will be the most rare. There will be the Scaly and then 2 others. And then let me
I think one of them is going to glow in the dark too. So there'll be like, I think there's going to be like 2 normal variants, a glow in the dark variant that's rare, and then this golden one that's like super rare. So those 2 that you just saw pictures of are supposed to arrive at our office on Friday. So I'm excited about that. We did get the first version of the Spinosuchus. It's not really the final version, but we did get that. So that was super fun. To finally get those in our hand, and the final version is better than even what we got already. So they're smaller than we want them to be, or at least that I want them to be, but this is how the Carnatugus at least will fit inside of an egg. So yeah, look at all this fun stuff. This will be on our store here soon. So I've got the UGG shirt, the one that's like Jaws. You can see I got a Jaws reference here, so almost hit everything on my shelves in the game. Tron, we haven't hit. This is Pokemon here. I don't know if you can tell. Terminator, we haven't hit. Ninja Turtles, I guess we haven't hit, or Lion King. Maybe I was totally wrong. Pirates of the Caribbean's coming pretty soon. That the Hammer Hug tomorrow is inspired heavily off of the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Jaws has always been kind of like a big influence on the underwater stuff. Moses Suckus Battle. Let's see, Predators. We already talked about that. Jurassic Park. Pacific Rim, I guess, isn't there. What else we got here? Star Wars. Disney World. Anyways, yeah, that Jaws shirt is kind of fun. I've gone over time. What else has come up in the chat? I got like 2 more minutes. I can answer final questions if there's anything good.
That's moving very fast.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited, guys. I really do think like fishing, it's not going to be like this huge, elaborate, giant new map, giant new mechanic, all this new stuff. But I think long term, you're probably going to find yourself fishing a lot more than most of the other things that you've been doing in the game. It's just so fun. You're gonna ride your dino around, cast your rod, feed your Spinosuchus or whatever you got. So it was great. Next one will be much more European friendly time. I'll make sure and bring a whole bunch of cool stuff. We're either going to have something on the Moses Suckus battle before that happens. I hope we can squeeze one more Q&A in before that, or it's going to be about like the next phase of Ugtopia, which is going to be substantial. So that one's going to be like, y'all need to be there for that one, because it's almost like a sequel to UGG within UGG, kind of. That one's the one I'm most excited about, and that's where I spend most of my mental time. The team's been doing amazing at these updates. It is not easy. Like, just shout out to the team. I've put them through a lot. Hall has helped a ton. Tara is doing a phenomenal job with the community. I'm sure you guys have seen that. Her and Yum Yum just crush it with the community. So I'm so glad that they're here organizing these events. My main job is just to focus on the creativity of the project and overarchingly make sure that the vision is cohesive. Hall is the one that actually gets it done, but behind the scenes, we've got three devs that are just grinding all the time to try and get weekly updates. Like, every time I tell other teams that we're doing weekly updates with a team of less than 15, they don't understand how we do it. So shout out to them. And we can only justify it because of the support you guys give too. Like, honestly, buying those bundles, I know our game's free and it can be, and I'm very happy that we have millions of people that play this game. And a large chunk of you guys don't spend money in the game, but you bring value. Just be a good UGG, like all of you. Even if you spend money, don't spend money. You being there, it makes our game more valuable. Your support here on Discord is huge. Content creators, we wouldn't have a game without you guys. We have still not done marketing, like traditional marketing. We've been able to focus more on just our own channel. And that's it, instead of trying to come up with deals and commercials and ad campaigns, all this stuff. We can just crush it on the game, and it's thanks to you guys. So it's been phenomenal working on this game. So glad get to do it every single day. It's all thanks to you guys. Make sure you redeem your code. What was it? Sad, love.
Yep.
Cry, love. Make sure you go redeem that. It should be available for the next couple hours. We'll do this again soon. Anything else before we sign off?
No, thank you so much for the kind words, and thank you everyone for joining the Q&A. It's been fun.
Yeah, thank you everyone. See ya.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.